Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode of TEW 2020 WWE, episode 100 of that. God knows how I've done 100 of these episodes, but here we are. And thank you for the support throughout, because Jesus, 100 episodes, that's crazy to me. And we're here for a premium live event special, Halloween Havoc and the Purge. Quick note before I start, I'm curious what people would think. We've hit episode 100. I'm curious what people think, because the main episodes are longer, because I made Raw, NXT, and Smackdown all 3 hours in game to fit more in. And I don't know how people would feel. I'll either keep it as one episode for all three, with that episode being, hour plus, or cut it down into 3 episodes, so an individual episode for Raw, NXT, and Smackdown. So instead of an episode a week, it would be 3 episodes a week, but the 3 episodes would be one for Raw, one NXT, one Smackdown. And instead of it being overall of like 1 hour, 10, 15, 20, it would be 3 episodes of 20, 25, 30 minutes. I just want to get some thoughts. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on that. But yeah, without further ado, Halloween Havoc. I got it here last year, of course. It was a Smackdown exclusive show, if you can remember. Big E defeated the Fiend in the main event, and then Thaddeus Bullard came out staring down, heading into their Universal Championship match at Survivor Series, which I'm sure we all do remember. The Rock, Jade, Rhea Ripley defeats Ruby Riott to keep her Women's World Universal title. Baszler comes out afterwards. Portela Muerte makes her debut and beats Charlotte Flair in a Buried Alive match, and then stands tall over the grave. Spanish Fly made their debuts earlier in the month. Yeah, and they retained the tag titles here, and then they helped Bullard defeat Balor, the first remnants of the Bullard brand forming, and Shayna Baszler gained that win later in the night as well. Yeah, it was a good show, 98 main event. It was really good, actually. And hopefully we can have somewhere close to that tonight. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Without further ado, let's jump into it. The NXT and Smackdown co-branded October Premium Live Event Special, Halloween Havoc. And the show begins, as always, with the opening video package, just highlighting storylines, matches for the night. It's got some big matches, Mandy Rose versus Annie Cooper. I put EC3 in this segment, and I could not, off the top of my head, tell you who that's supposed to be. But yeah, some big matches. LA Knight Johnny for the NXT Championship, Roman Edge TLC for the Universal, Becky Charlotte Ultimate Submission for the Women's Universal in the main event. I'm unsure what the overall rating is going to be, because I don't know how Becky and Charlotte are going to do 1v1 for 30 minutes. Hopefully they do okay. But 100 for that opening segment is good. We're happy with that. And we get started right into it by spinning that wheel and making that deal. And the wheel decides it will be a trick or street fight for the $1 million championship. It is Rhea Ripley defending against Bianca, Belair, Liv Morgan, and Paige, the 4 women who were the survivors for Team SmackDown and are getting duly rewarded by SmackDown's interim general manager Adam Pearce. All 4 have a chance to get the win here in this trick or street fight. Pick up the victory, become $1 million champion, and then at Survivor Series, of course, you can cash in $1 million title for a women's championship match of your choosing. And in the end, all 4 women battling it out here, and we get through it. A brutal affair. All using weapons, especially Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan as well, still a bit banged up from recent weeks, but giving it a good go. In the end, Paige and Liv Morgan going at it in the ring. Liv goes for the Liv kick, but Paige ducks it and hits the Rampage. But then rushes in Rhea Ripley to grab Paige from behind and hit her with a riptide onto Liv Morgan before she pins Paige for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner. And still the $1 million champion is Rhea Ripley for an 81. Happy with that start, honestly. In-ring wise, 74 Rhea, 73 Liv, 72 Bianca, 70 Paige. All 4 women very evenly matched in ring at the moment. And so we take that 81, I think. 81, very good for them, as Rhea Ripley does keep a hold of her $1 million championship here, and to head to the Survivor Series with it. Good for her. Good for her. 81. Good match. Good match. And we immediately keep things going with our next match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. It is the champions, Toxic Attraction. Jacy Jane injured, so Mandy Rose on double duty. Mandy Rose and Gigi Dolin taking on Team 2001. Roxanne, Perez, and Cora, Jade. And, the thing throughout the match, Jacy Jane's at ringside, but the story kind of throughout the match is Mandy Rose maybe not giving this her all. Mandy Rose trying to stay out of the ring as much as possible. Whenever she tags in, she tags out as quickly as possible. Mandy Rose, maybe trying to keep herself as fresh for her NXT Women's title match later on the night. And so Gigi has to deal with a lot of offense and put on a lot of offense towards Team 2001. And in the end, maybe that plays a big role. As in the end, Cora Jade manages to, she brushes up on Gigi from behind when Gigi's going to tag Mandy, shoves Gigi into Mandy when Mandy's not looking. Mandy goes down. She wasn't holding the tag rope, so that's not legal to tag. And then Cora rolls up Gigi and gets the 1, 2, 3. Your winners and the new Women's Tag Team Champions are Team 2001. Teams Toxic Attraction, not at their best, really. With no JC here with Mandy, not 100% in and focused on this with her match later tonight, trying to stay healthy for that. But Team 2001 do come out on top. For that 72, 80 Mandy Rose, 56 Roxanne Perez, 52 Gigi, 51 Cora. Yeah, all done all right. 72, we take that. Mandy Rose carried the match. God, what a term. As yes, in the end, Team 2001 are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. I've changed it in the angle rather than the match, because if I had to do it in the match, then I think I would have had to change Mandy to the champion, and then that would have taken JC's reign away, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah, we change it here as, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, Team 2001, pick up their first bit of WWE Gold, the women's tag titles here. And yeah, Toxic, not happy for that 73. Yeah, not a good start for Toxic tonight. Mandy Rose, still was in the ring for a little bit, so maybe a little banged up before her match later on tonight with Annie Cooper. Is it going to be a fully bad night for Toxic? We're going to have to wait and see. But for now, we continue on the NXT side of things with the NXT North American Championship on the line. And the NXT North American Championship is on the line, and the Crowbar is on the pole. It's Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Tony D'Angelo. Tony looking to pick up the win, get the NXT North American Championship. How you doing? Maybe take that to Survivor Series, become NXT champion, a big belt round his waist to take to Papa Morella and get that beautiful Ariana Morella's hand in marriage. Beautiful idea. Tony is gorgeous. And Swerve looking to keep a hold of that title he's had since February at this point. So he's had a nice long reign, Swerve, and he's looking to just get that little bit further to Survivor Series. Can he do it? In the end, Crowbar on the pole. Isaiah, Tony. In the end, it is Tony who pulls down the Crowbar and starts going to work on Swerve. The Swerve's in some pain. Tony's goons at ringside, but then Hit Row rushing out and bringing the fight to the goons. Got their own weapons, got steel chairs. Yeah, that's a pretty standard weapon. And having a go at Tony's guys at ringside, and Tony a bit distracted, goes for the hit on Swerve, but Swerve ducks underneath, and big kick taking out Tony's legs, picks up the Crowbar, big hit to the Crowbar, Tony absolutely dazed, and then Swerve following it up with a Swerve stomp on his way to the 1, the 2, the 3, as Isaiah Swerve Scott retains the NXT North American Championship for a 79. Tony putting up a good fight. 86 Swerve, 50 Tony. Happy with that. As yes, though, Isaiah Swerve Scott keeps a hold of the NXT North American Championship. Defense number 8 as Survivor Series now just around the corner for Mr. Swerve. Beautiful though. Unlucky Ton. Don't feel too bad for him. Tony. Tony. Always got a plan, that boy. That Gallagher's always got a plan, huh? Oh, my word. As then, we go outside. We go to the parking lot. And don't worry, this isn't Full Sail, so it's not entirely cursed. And we have we don't have Isaiah. We have Grayson Waller pulls up in a car, looking a bit disheveled, looking a bit manic. Last time we saw him, Dexter Loomis had been following him for like a week. So everybody's happy, he's looking around, he's smiling. Grayson not here. He goes to the front desk to try and get in. They ask if he's got ID or anything. He's fumbling around for it. He's happy though, and then he turns around and he can just see this figure slowly but menacingly walking towards him in the distance. And then he's fumbling a bit more. He's a bit more frantic, and then he manages to get the ID and give it to the guy, and the guy is trying to scare him. It's taking a minute, though. How these things can be. As the figure gets closer and closer, And he had the figure just outside the door as Grayson is swiped in, and Grayson storms through the door, slams and shuts behind him, and continues on his merry way. For a come on, oh Jesus Christ! I pressed next segment for a 62. There we go. Jesus, my word, yeah, for a 62, which is fine. We take that over. Just a fun segment on Grayson Waller and Dexter Lumis here for that 62. Happy. As then we get ready for another match. Bronson Reed and Mojo, the challengers for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, make their way out first, and they're followed by the Fiend's music hitting, and the Fiend walks out, and then he stops, and he puts down the lantern on the floor, and then he holds his hand out, and then Scarlett steps forward and hands him the leash, and the Fiend pulls on the leash and steps forward. The Fiend's favourite pet, the Relic, and the Fiend, leash in hand, leading the Relic and Scarlett to the ring for a 98. Yeah, Fiend entrance, what are you going to do? And then SmackDown Tag Team Championships on the line. Bronson Reed and Samoa Joe looking to win back those titles they lost at SummerSlam, whilst the Fiend and his favourite pet, the Relic, looking to keep a hold of them. But who will come out on top? It's a Firefly... Oh god, it's a Funhouse Tornado Tag, there you go, which is just another word for an Extreme Tornado Tag. If WWE can just slap a word on a match that's already a match, and I can too, can't I? Yeah, Funhouse Tornado Tag, battle, honestly. I've said it to Wild Brawl, because that's what it would be. These four just wildly brawling, using all sorts of weapons, beating the hell out of each other. In the end, though, the Fiend plants Samoa Joe with a Sister Abigail, and gets the 1, 2, 3, as the Fiend and Karrion Kross keep a hold of the SmackDown Tag Team titles. 90 for the match. I mean, that's the best I could do. It was a 10-minute match, and so it's capped at 90. But yeah, 90 is very, very good anyway. 91 for the Relic. Jesus, mate. 97 the Fiend. 78 Joe. 80 Reed. Yeah, all doing very well. The Fiends, Jesus Christ. As yes, the Fiend and the Relic come out on top and keep a hold of the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Beautiful. And then from a wild brawl to a match that, from a 10-minute wild brawl to a match that goes a bit longer. It's the NXT Championship on the line. It is the Golden Guard, LA Knight, taking on the heart and soul of NXT, Johnny Gargano. NXT Championship on the line, yeah. It goes longer. It's more technical. Okay, it's still pretty quick though, in speed. LA and Johnny just going for it. Johnny using, maybe a bit more agility than LA Knight. LA Knight maybe a bit more power, but still both men just giving this all. Both men want to come out champion. LA Knight, he's the Golden God. He's the top of NXT, but Johnny says he doesn't deserve that position. Says NXT deserves a better person at the top, at its head. He says if that's going to be him, then okay. And that's a role he'll take on again. But who will take on that role? NXT Championship up for grabs. LA Knight versus Johnny Gargano. And in the end, it is LA Knight who comes out on top, managing to hit the BFT, the blunt force trauma, onto Johnny, and to pick up the 1, 2, 3 for a 99, a near perfect match between these guys. I thought they'd tear it down. 91 LA, 95 Johnny. Both doing incredible, but LA Knight, the Golden God himself, keeps a hold of the gold and retains that NXT Championship here at Halloween Havoc for that 99. Beautiful. What a match. You expect nothing less between these two, do you? As then we just have a quick thing backstage, which is just Grayson Waller just continuing to run away. You see Grayson Waller frantically running down a hallway. He sees the garbage can, he shoves that over. He sees like a janitor mopping, and he throws the janitor in the way and pushes his cart down. It's just Grayson Waller creating a bigger mess and as many obstacles as possible, as then you slowly see Dexter Lumis menacingly, slowly walking after Grayson Waller for a 54. Yeah. Just more Halloween shenanigans. That's the best word for it, isn't it? Some more Halloween shenanigans. For that 54, which is good. which is good. As then we go back to the ring for some more wrestling on the wrestling show, and we go to SmackDown this time for the United States Championship match. The champion Tyler Breeze taking on the challenger Bron Breakker of the Roman Empire. Yeah, Roman says Tyler doesn't deserve that title ever since he lost at bragging rights, and he sent his boys to try and get it. But Tyler Breeze overcame the Von Erichs. He overcame Jey Uso. He overcame Solo Sikoa. Fandango returned and helped him overcome the Von Erichs again. And then Roman finally sent his dog of war of sorts, Bron Breakker, who decimated Fandango on this last week's SmackDown, and now is looking to take that title from Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze says he's going to beat Bron Breakker, and that he's going to cash in his option to get Survivor Series and get a Universal Championship match. But will he? Let's find out. Bron Breakker, Tyler Breeze, the United States Championship on the line. In the end, after a hard-fought matchup, Tyler Breeze hits a supermodel kick at one point and gets a 2.5 off Bron Breakker. But in the end, Bron Breakker lifts Tyler Breeze up into the bench press power slam. I can never remember what his finish is called, and gets the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and the new United States champion is Bron Breakker for a 77. Which is good. Well, I mean, Bron Breakker got a 77, Tyler Breeze got a 77, and a match got a 77, so I don't know what else it could have got. 77 for the match, as yes, Paul Heyman, sent by Roman Reigns to be at ringside, watches on, as Bron Breakker wins his first WWE Championship. Bron Breakker, the US champion. Bron Breakker debuted at Money in the Bank in June. And so, 4 months later, aligned with Roman Reigns and the new United States champion. Quick rise from Bron Breakker, as it should be. As it should be. It's Bron Breakker, for God's sake. As then we continue on, and we go to some tag team action. We go to some triple threat tag team action for the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championships. The champions, Spanish Fly, Socrates Torres, and Alfonso Bourbon, defending against 2 sets of challenges. First of all, we have the former champions, the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic, looking to get their titles back. And then we have the former champions, Legado, Humberto Carrillo and Santos Escobar. Spanish Fly beat the Mysterios, who beat Legado. So the current and former 2 champions for the Cruiserweight Tag Team titles. All 3 teams fighting out, fast-paced, high intensity. All 3 want to come out on top win the Cruiserweight Tag Team titles. And in the end, Spanish Fly kind of taken out, and Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio, the legal men, fighting it out. Rey rolls Santos up for a 1 and a 2, and Humberto gets in the ring to break up the pin, and Dominic getting in the ring as well. And it's just a stare down between Legado and Mysterio. Mysterio is kind of a throwback to their match at WrestleMania 38. And Rey, and Dom just staring down. Dominic puts his arms around Rey and just tells him that to not focus on it, to not let him get in his head. Dominic goes to leave the ring, and then swiftly turns around and low blows his father. Michael Cole's on the mic, so Michael Cole's absolutely losing about that son of a bitch, Dominic. Rey down on his knees, as Legado smiling, Zelina Vega smiling at ringside, and Dominic walks around to Rey, and Rey looking up at Dom, and Rey's confused. Why, son? Why are you doing this? And Dominic just looking down to Rey and just says, I don't need you anymore, old man. And then Dominic, another kick right to the nuts of Rey. Rey kneeled over in pain as Dominic walks over and rolls under the bottom rope over to Zelina Vega. And then just smile at each other as Legado, Humberto and Santos Escobar pick Rey up and hit the Patrimonio driver for the 1, 2, 3. As Legado win back the Cruiserweight Tag Team titles for a 79, 89 Torres, 82 Rey, 70 for Humberto, 69 Santos, 62 Alfonso, 65 Dominic. Good match, but not the key point, is it? Not the key point. As yes, Legado pick up the titles, Zelina into the ring, gets the titles and gets in the ring. Dominic gets in the ring as well. Zelina hands the titles over to Humberto and Santos Escobar, and then Zelina reaches her hand out to Dominic, a smile on her face, as Dominic looks at it, smiles back, and then shakes her hand. And then, Legado raise each other's arms, for a 79. You know, Michael's still on the mic talking about that son of a bitch Dominic betraying his father like this, huh? For that 79. Yeah, Dominic has turned on his father Ray and has aligned with Legado here. Oh, dickhead Dominic, huh? Who does? Oh, dickhead Dominic, kind of superior, honestly. So, hey, no, you know, sad that he betrayed his father and kicked him in the nuts a few times, but you know what? Every cloud. Oh my word. What's next? Next up, God, it's the Universal Championship match next. What am I talking about next up? We have the, as I've put here, long entrances, because these guys both take long entrances, don't they? First of all, the challenger, Edge of the Judgment Day, makes his way out to the ring, followed by the Universal Champion making his own long entrance, Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. For a 100, yep, ready for this Universal Championship match. Roman and Edge, TLC. All on the line, Universal title hanging above the ring, both men battling out. It's a war, okay, it's a long match. It's an endurance test, as it is usually for both of these men in their matches. Beating the hell out of each other with tables, with ladders, with chairs. You know, in the end, Edge spearing Roman through a table set up in the corner, pushing him down. And Edge begins to climb up the ladder, you know, starting to make his way to the top. When the ladder starts shaking and Edge looks down and he sees Paul Heyman trying to push the ladder over, but Paul, you know, Paul's a strong guy. He hasn't quite got the upper body strength for that. He's trying and he's failing, and Edge just jumps off the ladder to the floor, and Paul tries to get out, but Edge grabs him before he can. He's holding him by his suit, you know, not happy. And then Paul just, you know, pushed into the corner, begging Edge not to. Edge holding Paul, and then Edge turns around and he sees Roman rushing towards him. Edge out of the way, Roman a spear to Paul Heyman, taking Paul Heyman out. Edge bouncing against the rope, goes for a spear of his own to Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns gets a knee up and stuns Edge massively. And then Roman just picks Edge up and he just charges with him. And, you know, this is probably entirely unfeasible, but you know that move where Roman jumps over the ropes? Imagine... Okay, how can I make this actually happen? Okay, when Edge jumped to the floor, the ladder he was on fell down, okay? And Roman's gonna run, pick up Edge, run up that ladder, and then jump off the top of the ladder to the outside of the ring to a stack of tables that's set up, completely taking both men out. Okay, and the medics rushing down to check on him, mainly focusing on Edge as Roman gets to his feet, and Roman slowly gets into the ring. Paul Heyman's still down. Roman drags the ladder up, sets it up, and then Roman makes the climb up the ladder. The medic's still checking on Edge. Edge is down at ringside still. As Roman gets to the top of the ladder, and he pulls down the Universal Championship and retains. Roman Reigns, still Universal Champion. For an 87, yeah, that's maybe fair. It was a pretty long match. It's an extreme match. 87. I'll take that. 90 Reigns, 68 Edge. Alright, Edge, God, you've slowed down in your age, haven't you? 87, though, is a good match. I'm happy. As Roman Reigns, after an absolute war with Edge, keeps a hold of the Universal Championship. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. God. Oh, God. Right. We go backstage again. Waller is still running. Eventually, Waller finds this kind of darkened room, and he goes inside and he closes the door quietly. You know, he's panicked, and you can hear the footsteps from the outside, and he's watching out the corner of his eyes. You see Dexter Lumis walk past the door. He does go past it, and Grayson Waller's relieved, but then you hear the footsteps stop, and then they start again, and then Dexter's at the door. He's looking inside, trying to get through the door, but Grayson Waller's locked the door. Okay, the door is locked, so Dexter is not getting in. Grayson feeling safe, feeling relieved. And Grayson starts laughing at him. You big dumb idiot? Huh? You big dumb idiot? Huh? Just laughing at him, having a good time, you know. But then Dexter Lumis stops trying to open the door. He looks up at Grayson and he just stops trying to open the door. and Grayson's still taunting him. And then Grayson notices Dexter's not looking at him. Dexter's looking behind him. And then Grayson Waller turns around and, okay, it's a spooky pay-per-view. Grayson Waller turns around and standing behind him is a figure in the shadows. And Grayson's, you know, who the hell are you? And then the figure steps forwards. And it's Michael Myers. Right, hear me out. Michael Myers steps out of the shadows. Grayson Waller, incredibly panicked, tries to run, but, you know, the door's locked. He tries to unlock it and open it, but, you know, well, he thinks about unlocking it, but then he looks at Dexter and he second guesses that. But he turns around and Michael's there, and Grayson just panicking. You know, doesn't know what to do. Michael slowly walking towards him as well. And then he just hears the sound of the door unlocking. You know, but he's distracted. He barely notices it. As Michael Myers gets right in his face, Grayson, very clearly scared. And then from behind, Dexter Lumis just grabs him and drags him to the floor. And Grayson Waller down. Oh, God. Yeah. Grayson Waller down. Gets choked out. And Dexter Lumis to his feet. And Dexter Lumis and Michael Myers just look at each other. And yeah, we can have the segment there. I thought of ending the segment with them holding hands and skipping off. But no, we can just end it there with them, you know, Dexter Lumis and Michael Myers just staring at each other. I promise this isn't meant to set up a future match. 58, by the way. I promise that isn't meant to set up a future match. But if you really, really want Grayson, Dexter Lumis versus Michael Myers, then let me know in the comments down below, huh? 58. Good. Oh, it's Halloween Havoc. It's Halloween. Like the holiday, like the movie. And it's topical because it just released. Oh, God. Is it Peacock as well? It's, yeah. Isn't it? It's on Peacock. I'm pretty sure it's on Peacock. And if it's on Peacock, then WWE, yeah. So it makes sense that Michael Myers could be here. As then we go to the ring, yeah. And we go to the ring for the NXT Women's Championship match. Mandy Rose already won the feat tonight. Lost in the Women's Tag Title match. Wasn't happy to do that. But wants to retain here against her challenger, Annie Cooper. Recently returned, formerly known as Sky Blue. If you still need that help, she has only just returned, so it's fair enough if you do. And Mandy and Annie going at it. Fighting it out, neither want to lose. You know, Mandy's still a bit banged up, so Annie getting some nice offense in at points. But Mandy Rose, a bit more experience, you know. Saved herself quite a lot earlier. You know, Annie Cooper trying to get the win. She goes for a super kick on Mandy Rose, but Mandy Rose grabs it, shakes her head, and then she throws the leg back, sending Annie Cooper onto her knees on the floor. And then Mandy Rose with the knee to the face to put Annie Cooper down. And then the cover, 1, 2, 3, as Mandy Rose retains her NXT Women's Championship for a 78, which is a good match, yeah. Happy with that. 79 Mandy, 39 Annie Cooper. Mandy, no offense to the other women, because they've got low ratings just because of in-game reasons. Mandy Rose has dragged 2 pretty good matches out of people tonight. So fair play to Mandy Rose. And she retains the NXT Women's title. So not a complete failure tonight for Toxic Attraction. As then we get ready for the main event, as Becky Lynch, the Women's Universal Champion, and Charlotte Flair both come out ready for war. The former partners, the former NXT Women's Champions, former Women's Tag Team Champions, there you go. For 100, they both make their entrances ready for this Women's Universal Championship match. Ultimate Submission. 30 minutes are put on the clock. And the figure 8 versus the Disarmer, which will come out on top. And, oh my God. Yeah, both women battling out, Becky and Charlotte. You know, going to war here. The game's put this as a 3-0. I'm not going to have it 3-0. Yeah. The first fall, how are we doing the first fall? Becky hits pretty early even, 6-7 minutes. Becky surprises Charlotte with a manhandle slam into the Disarmer. And Charlotte tries to get to a rope, can't, but then quickly taps, trying to save herself, doesn't want to get too hurt, taps out. Becky gets the first submission match going on. We get to the 20, 21, 22 minute mark. It's gone on a bit. In the end, Charlotte managed to hit a big boot on Becky to put her down. Becky trying to get up, but natural selection into the figure 8. And, 22 minutes into the match, they're still a bit banged up already. Becky also maybe not want to get banged up even more. No choice, but she tries to fight a lot longer. She's already got a lead. She doesn't want to lose it. In the end, Becky does tap out 1-1. Continue battling out. the match going on, getting towards the end. We're into the 29 minutes. In the end, Charlotte going for a big boot, but Becky ducking underneath. Manhandle slam, locks in the disarmer, and Charlotte is fighting. She does not want to tap as the timer keeps going up. But in the end, Charlotte, even with her long limbs, cannot quite reach that rope, and she's in too much pain after this match. And around the 29-30 second mark, Charlotte taps out. And in the end, 30 minutes, timer up. Becky Lynch, still the Women's Universal Champion for an 82. Yeah. A little disappointing. But AO. 91 Becky, 80 Charlotte. I'm fine with that. Both did well. And gets the win. Becky raises the title in the air. Offers her hand to Charlotte for shake, but Charlotte just shakes her head and leaves. Not happy. Charlotte completely leaving. Becky not caring. Charlotte backstage now. Becky Lynch raising that Women's Universal title in the air when the lights go out. And out walks Dijakovic, not Dominic Dijakovic. We've already got Dominic, but Dijakovic walks out in, all black gear. He hasn't got the T-bar mask or anything, but black. He walks out and he stands underneath a spotlight to the right of the stage. And then Priest steps out onto a spotlight on the left of the stage, and Becky, they're just perplexed in the ring. Dijakovic and Priest not moving. They stepped into those spotlights and then they stopped, and then just staring towards the ring. And then two spotlights in the middle, as out comes Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa of the Judgment Day. Edge defeated earlier, but even medical attention still right now probably. But Black and Ciampa walking out into those spotlights, and then from right to left, Dijakovic, Black, Ciampa, Priest, all standing under these spotlights, not moving, just staring towards the ring. Becky Lynch holding that Women's Universal tightly as she looks towards them.
Lucifer.
As walks into the final spotlight, Portela Muerte. Walking into that final magical spotlight in the middle of all four men. Portela Muerte injured at SummerSlam and not seen since. But, walking out here in between these men, and she holds her arms out to her sides, looking forward. And then she just gestures her hands and points towards the ring. As then the lights go out. And when they come back on, Black, Ciampa, Priest, Dijakovic, they've each taken a side on the apron. The ring completely surrounded. Becky Lynch holding onto that towel tightly as Portela Muerte makes her way up a steel steps and into the ring. And then Muerte face to face with Becky Lynch, the women butting heads, as Muerte holds up 3 fingers, and then she just holds up one and points right at Becky Lynch. For a 98, the big ending here at Halloween Havoc, as Portela Muerte makes a big return here with a lot of new friends and makes her intentions very clear, going right for the Women's Universal Champion here, Becky Lynch. For that 98, very good. Happy. 98. Very good. Good show. Not as good as last year's show, 88 compared to 94, but yeah, last year's show had a 98 main event instead of an 82, so that would explain it. LA and Johnny with their 99 are getting some praise. Who else? Mandy Rose, 2 matches, and carried both of those matches. Honestly, it's good rating. So yeah, LA and Johnny for your 99 can get praised, and Mandy Rose as well for really good work tonight. Double duty. Pleased, pleased, pleased. And I am pleased as the Premium Live Event Special episode 100 gets off to a good start, and hopefully we can continue very well here. As next up, it's time for the Raw exclusive Premium Live Event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. It's time for The Purge. And WWE The Purge gets underway with an opening video package as always, just highlighting, some of the matches on the card. Gunther, Roderick Strong, the Raw vs NXT, of course. The winning superstar there, Brand, will get second choice in the draft. Pick down Seth Rollins, EO versus Alexa. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton main event for the WWE title in a Purge match. And also, of course, we've got the Raw tag titles, Cole and Balor versus Riddle and MJF. Well, you got the Intercontinental title Fatal 4-Way elimination match between Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Angel Garza, and Chad Gable. And also, we have Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode in their little, blow off. Ziggler returning, going right after Roode turned on him and injured him for a little bit. With James Storm, of course. All going on. It's all going on. 100 for that little opening video package there. Before we get underway, first of all, with the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. God, it's still the NXT takeover in me, isn't it? Get things started with a high-paced, fast, quick action tag title match. And it's the champions Cole and Balor of Triple H's Chosen, taking on the unlikely pairing, perhaps, of Matt Riddle and MJF. MJF and Matt Riddle, both separately, their own reasons to be going after the Chosen. Of course, Triple H has Chosen messing with Pete Dunne quite a lot. Riddle, of course, Pete Dunne's partner in the Broserweights, wanting to help his buddy out. And going after them, MJF having them problems with them as well, because, it's MJF, he wants to be WWE champion, and the Chosen are his way. And so Riddle and MJF, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, working together here against Cole and Balor with the Raw tag titles on the line, and all 4 men going at it. It's a good match, as you'd expect between the 4 men. Fast-paced, all want to come out on top in the end. MJF down at ringside, Riddle and Cole, legal men going at it. Riddle goes for a Bro Derek to... Am I thinking of the right move? Yeah, the Bro Derek to Adam Cole, but Balor gets him from behind with an elbow to the back of the head. Riddle dropping Cole and dropping down to his knees in pain. Adam Cole quickly grabbing Riddle, snatching him up and hitting him with a Panama Sunrise. Riddle bouncing up though and turning into Finn Balor, who picks him up and plants him with a 1916. Riddle down, and then Balor sitting Matt Riddle up for Adam Cole, as Adam Cole pulls down the knee pad and then hits a massive last shot, laying Riddle out. A lot of moves right to the head there. Riddle laid out. Cole makes the cover. 1, 2, 3. Balor and Cole retain the Raw Tag Team Championships for a 95. Very good match, as you'd expect between these 4 guys. 96 Riddle, 96 Cole, 90 Balor, 85 MJF. And yeah, good match. Good match. Afterwards, Cole and Balor celebrate, raising their titles, going up the ramp with them, whilst the medical team come out to check on Matt Riddle and MJF. His partner checking on him as well. Seeing if he's okay. The medics checking on Riddle. They put a neck brace on him. They stretcher him out. In a lot of pain, Riddle. After, elbow to the back of the head, into the Panama Sunrise, into the 1916, into the last shot. It's a lot to the head, isn't it? 100 for that post. Good. Things getting off to a nice start here. And God, this will take this I'm expecting maybe in the 70s as we go to Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode. This has been coming. This has been coming, Them breaking up as a team, in which I mean Roode and Storm attacking Ziggler and kicking out the Dirty Dogs. Ziggler taking a little time off away with injury, and then coming back recently, a few weeks back, and taking, saving Chad Gable from an attack from them. And then last week, or this week on Raw even, this past episode, Ziggler beating James Storm, and now going for Robert Roode here. And yeah, Ziggler, Roode, both men want to come out on top here in this battle of the former Dirty Dogs. But in the end, it is Dolph Ziggler who hits the zigzag and picks up the victory for a 79. Did better than I thought it would, honestly. 71 Rude, 62 Ziggler. Those in-ring performances to get a 79. I'm very happy. Ziggler does get his revenge here at the Purge against his former partner, Robert Roode. Lovely. As then we go into a big match here early on in the show. Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight even, his bro, getting medical attention backstage. Maybe that's in Pete Dunne's head before we head into this match a little bit. Seth Rollins makes his over-the-top entrance for this match. You know, it's Seth Rollins. He's having a great time, and then Pete's music hit, and Pete does not make an over-the-top entrance. Pete doesn't even make his normal entrance. Pete just hurries down to the ring, rushes towards it, gets into a bit of a run at the end, slides in, and then right into Seth Rollins. Straight into a brawl. These two men, there's a lot of animosity there. Obviously, Seth aligned with Triple H, going to naturally create some animosity. At bragging rights, if Pete Dunne won, he would have earned the WWE Championship match tonight if he was on a Survivor. And he would have been. He had Edge pinned, but then Seth Rollins curb stomping him and then putting Edge over him to eliminate him. Yeah, a lot of animosity. Pete going right for him here for 100 before the match even starts here. And then the two men just beating the hell out of each other. Honestly. So much animosity, Maybe it's technical at times, but a lot of times it just turns into this kind of dirty brawl. Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, trying to bring the pain. Seth Rollins trying to bring some pain of his own. And the match going on. And in the end, Pete Dunne, they've all each hit a finisher already. Pete Dunne grabs Seth and sets up for the bitter end. He's got him in the hold and he turns Seth around. But when Seth turns around, he's straight into a big knee to the face to Pete Dunne, dazing him, putting him down. And then Seth Rollins quick to capitalise, kick in the gut, hitting a pedigree onto Pete Dunne before he waits for Pete Dunne to get up, and Pete Dunne eventually powering onto his hands and knees where Seth Rollins plants him with a curb stomp on his way to the 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins does get the victory here for a 99, a near perfect matchup between the pair. Oh, so close yet so far. 99, so many 99s, man. Someday I'll get another 100. 95 Seth, 91 Pete, both doing really, really well here. But yeah, Seth Rollins does pick up the win, yeah. Hit the ripcord knee. Pete went for the bitter end, ripcord knee, curb stomp, Seth. Ripcord knee, pedigree, curb stomp, Seth gets the victory over Pete Dunne. Not a good night for the Broserweights tonight, is it? Not a good night for the Broserweights. As then we break up this in-ring action for what you really, really want. Some silly, silly segments. We go backstage. And we go to the locker room. We don't go to the locker room. We go to a hallway. And we have Danhausen. Okay, Danhausen there. And R-Truth walks up. And he says, "Spooky Demon Man, you got my baby?" And Danhausen holding it saying, yes, I have your baby right here. Do you have the money for Danhausen? And R-Truth pulls out $50. And he says, "This is all the money I have, dog. This is a lot of money." Danhausen says, "Yes, all the money, yes. Lots of money. Very rich Danhausen. Very rich Danhausen." And R-Truth says, "Okay, I'll give you the money. You give me my baby, and then I'll give you the money." And then he says, yes, okay. And R-Truth, Danhausen about to get on the floor for R-Truth to pin him. There's a ref there. And then a random fan walks up and he says, whoa, are you that demon guy? Are you Danhausen? And I was like, "Yes, I'm Danhausen." And he's like, "Whoa, man, I'm such a huge fan. It's so cool. You did. Oh my god, is that the 24/7 title? Are you 24/7 champion?" And I was like, "Yes, Danhausen has this bout. Yes." And the fans like, "Oh, bro, that's so cool. Me and my friends, we all love you, man. We all love you. Hey, can I get a picture of you and me, you with the title? I'll pay. I reaches into wallet. I'll pay $100 for it." And then I was like, You give Danhausen money for picture with title?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love you, bro." And then the fan takes a picture of Danhausen, thanks him, happily walks off, and R-Truth's like, "All right, dog, let's do this. Let's give me my baby back. I'll give you the money." And then I was like, "Danhausen has reconsidered. Danhausen become very rich, very rich." This is my Danhausen turns into Gollum so quickly. Danhausen reconsider. Danhausen become very, very rich. with this title, thank you. And then Danhausen, scurries off, as Danhausen does. R-Truth left sad without his baby once again for a 36. Yeah, I'm not expecting, high quality entertainment or ratings for any segment, but you know what? I did get high quality entertainment, so one of the two isn't bad. Danhausen, not so happy to give up the title anymore for that 36. We take that. As then we stay backstage and we go to an interview with Kayla Braxton. Randy Orton being interviewed before his WWE Championship match, later on tonight. And Kayla Braxton asking him how he's feeling. And Randy says that he's been in this situation God knows how many times before. Getting ready for the main event. Getting ready for the WWE Championship to be on the line. And this is a situation that he doesn't just anticipate. It's a situation he thrives in. Orton says that he's been a challenger, he's been a champion. And the thing is, when he enters as a champion, he tends to leave as a champion. And when he enters as a challenger, he tends to leave as a champion. So Owens better be enjoying the final hours he has with that championship, because come the end of tonight, it's back over Randy Orton's shoulder. Yes, bro. Yes, my boy Randy talking about the main event tonight? Yes. Oh my god. Listen, Kayla. Listen. You and me both know that my boy Randy, my main slice Randy right here, he's gonna beat Kevin Owens. Yes. And then me and him, maybe get a couple broskies later. Me and my boy Randy. Maybe Randy gets his boys in. And on, Austin Freeze. Yeah, and on he notices Randy Owens just kind of slipped. And he's like, no problem, Randy. Yeah, you get ready for your match. Huh? Catch you on the flippity flip. Damn it, Austin. Why'd you say flippity flip? Not cool, Austin. Not cool. Damn it. For an 84. Austin just wants to be friends with Orton, man. He just wants to be friends, embarrassing himself a little bit. We all embarrass ourselves a bit in front of our idols. 84. Oh, God. I love this Austin Theory stuff. Oh, I didn't think I would when I fully started, but I do. Then we have a match, yeah. God, on the wrestling show, can you imagine? We go to the ring, and it is Gunther versus Roderick Strong. Raw versus NXT. European Champion versus Cruiserweight Champion. The Diamond Mine at ringside for Strong. Imperium at ringside for Gunther. And Strong and Gunther going to war. A hard-hitting affair, because it's Gunther and Strong. Also very hard-hitting, You have a moment where Strong manages to lift Gunther up and hit him with a backbreaker for a 2. Both men battling, both men wanting to get the win. Not just for their brand. Hell, as minimal as possible for their brand, probably. But for themselves. To prove that they are the dominant one. To prove that their squad, their team, is the dominant one. Both men want this win. But in the end, there's only one man who can get the win. And in the end, the brand that will be getting the second pick in the WWE draft is Monday Night Raw, as Gunther picks up the win over Roderick Strong with the powerbomb for a 90. Incredible match. 82 Strong, 81 Gunther. It was 12 minutes and 12 seconds. Matches under 15, I think, are capped at 90. So that was as good as it was going to get. So I'm very happy with that, actually. As, yeah, afterwards, Gunther and Imperium stand strong. Roderick Strong not happy. Malcolm Bivens checking on him, trying to hype him up still, but, he's upset he lost. Taz, Creed Rose, Ivy's the other as well, but yeah. Gunther up the ramp, and at the top of the ramp, Gunther and Imperium look back down to the ring. They hit the Imperium pose. 78. Good. Show moving along nicely. Show going very well. Before we go backstage again for another interview, this time, ignore me. Ignore me completely. We don't. We stay in the ring. It's a match. God. As you can see from the screen, it's the IC title match. Yay. Oh my word. Elimination, Fatal 4-Way, Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Angel Garza, Chad Gable. All 4 men want to get the win, because obviously, if you're new to the channel, you may be unaware, we have, what TNA has. We have Option C, where if you have the Intercontinental US NXT North American title, come Survivor Series, you can cash that in, vacate the title for a shot at the world title on your respective show. And so, of course, Survivor Series next month, the winner of this match will be Intercontinental Champion heading there and can vacate it for a shot at the WWE title. So all 4 men want to win. All 4 men want to come out on top. So all 4 men giving this all. Drew, Andrade, Garza, Chad Gable, all going at it. It's a war, okay? And we get into it, maybe around the 11-minute mark, Gable and Garza. The ring is clear, and it's Gable and Garza. And Gable and Garza have a little history here, you know? You can go far history to 2020, where Gable was dethroned by Garza for the Cruiserweight title. We can go more recently, where Garza and Orton won the Raw Tag titles earlier this year, and then Garza was preoccupied with something else, so Gable stepped in as Orton's partner, and in the end the Raw Tag titles were lost to Cole Balor because Gable was pinned. So there's some tension that has been building a bit between Garza and Gable. And, you know, Garza wants to be WWE Champion again. He was WWE Champion last year at SummerSlam for about 10 minutes, you know? So he wants to be WWE Champion again, and Gable, he's been on the climb. NXT Champion earlier, so you have to think he wants to be WWE Champion as well. So both men want to come out on top. Garza and Gable fighting out in the end. Garza lifting up Gable to hit him with the wing clipper, but Gable manages to kind of power out of it, throw Garza into the air, and hit him with an RKO, because that's always a beautiful spot, and cover him for the 1, 2, 3. Garza eliminated. Garza shocked, not happy. Match continuing on. Andrade gets Gable in the hole to hit him with La Sombra. Now nowhere, Drew McIntyre flies in with a Claymore, which takes Andrade down, but Andrade falling down and hitting La Sombra at the same time to Gable. And Drew McIntyre covering Andrade for the 1, 2, 3. Andrade eliminated. McIntyre quickly over to Gable and covers him for the 1, 2. And Gable powers out the last possible second. And then McIntyre and Gable just fighting it out and completely going for it here. And in the end, McIntyre going for a Claymore to Gable, waiting for him to get up, goes for it. But Gable ducks underneath. McIntyre flying over him and then getting into his feet, and Gable planting him with an RKO as well, before covering him for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner and the new Intercontinental Champion, Chad Gable. For a 95, incredible match, 95 Andrade, 94 Gable, 82 Garza, and 77 McIntyre. In the end, it is Chad Gable who comes out on top, and Chad Gable is your new Intercontinental Champion. And then after the match, Gable, title over his shoulder. That's meant to be Drew. I have too many Drews, man. This happens so much. I have too many of the same names. Gable and McIntyre. You know, Gable in on the tie with his shoulder, him and McIntyre face to face. Gable holds his hand out for a handshake. McIntyre looks down, and McIntyre does shake the hand. A little bit of respect here between Chad Gable and Drew McIntyre before Chad Gable raises that Intercontinental in the air as McIntyre leaves. Chad Gable, new Intercontinental Champion. His 3rd time with the belt, I want to say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a 3-time Intercontinental Champion now. Beautiful work, Chad. Beautiful work. 77. That would have been higher if it was Drew McIntyre instead of Gulak, but we move. Good. Nice. And then we go backstage for an interview with the WWE Champion, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens. Yeah, okay, they're asking Kevin Owens about the main event, and Kevin Owens says that he is the WWE Champion. Okay, and people have tried to talk down his reign. Say he doesn't deserve it. Say he was handed this. But Kevin Owens says he's worked for years to be WWE Champion. Years and years and years and years. And he says Randy Orton's been WWE Champion. Randy Orton's been World Champion, what, 14 times? 15 times even? I don't even know at this point. But Owens says that no. It's 14 times, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Owens says this is his moment. This is his time. He is on top. He is WWE Champion. He deserves it. And so tonight, the only legend getting killed is Randy Orton. For 100. Good. Good. Owens ready for this match. Both men ready. I'm excited. Hopefully it'll be a really good match between the pair. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. When we go over to the ring for the Women's World Championship match. Alexa Bliss versus Io Sky. Alexa Bliss looking to win back the title she lost at SummerSlam. Io Sky looking to... the Kingpin. Io Sky looking to get another win, you know? Kingpin versus Goddess. Io versus Alexa. Both women fighting it out. Both women want to come out on top. Both women want to be Women's World Champion. Both women want to be at the top of the Raw. Only one woman can, though. And in the end, the battle of, Moonsault versus Twisted Bliss, it is Moonsault that comes out on top as Io Sky hits the Moonsault onto Alexa Bliss and gets the 1, 2, 3. Io Sky retains her Women's World Championship. For an 88, very good match. 92 are Io, 80 Alexa. Both women doing very, very well here. But it is Io Sky who gets the win and Io Sky retains the Women's World title. Lovely. Lovely. In the penultimate match of the evening. Meaning it's time for the main event now. As we have the entrances for the WWE Championship match. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton both making their respective entrances. No one else. None of Kevin Owens chosen. None of Randy Orton's allies. He has a surprising amount considering a lot of his career was just dickhead Randy, you know. But 100 for the entrances for the WWE Championship match. Owens and Orton. Battling. Both of these men want to be WWE champion. That should go without saying. But both men do. Only one man can, though. And they battle it out for a while. It's a Purge match. Anything goes. Okay, it really is. Anything goes. And at one point, Kevin Owens going for a stunner on Orton. Orton shoving Kevin Owens off. Kevin Owens bumping into the ref down, rolling out the ring as Kevin Owens turns around into Orton to hit an RKO, and Orton covers. The crowd chanting, 3, 4, 5. Owens not kicked out, but Orton not got the win here because the ref is down. Orton getting up, hands on his face, he can't believe it. He gets up, he goes over to the ropes, he leans through to try and get the ref up. The ref's staying down in a minute. When from behind rushes out Andrade, Balor, Cole, Rollins, Triple H following in pursuit, and they start attacking Orton. Orton trying to fight off, he's holding a weapon, he's trying to fight them off here, but it's to no avail. There's so many of them, and in the end they get Randy down onto his knees. Kevin Owens getting onto his feet in the corner. Triple H handed the sledgehammer. He looks at Orton, he says, "It didn't have to be like this. You should have come home, Randy. You should have come home." Triple H holding the sledgehammer, ready to hit Orton with it, ready himself. When rushes out, Chad Gable, Angel Garza, MJF, a very banged up Pete Dunne, and Austin Theory even rushing out as well for his mentor, all rushing down to the ring. Triple H, caught by surprise, they have to drop Orton, and they charge out. A massive brawl ensuing between all of these superstars. It's absolute chaos out there. Triple H in the ring alone with Orton. Orton still on his knees. Triple H sledgehammer in hand, still ready to hit on. He wheels it back to hit Orton, but then he's stopped. The sledgehammer is grabbed and pulled out of his hands, and Triple H turning around, and it's Austin Theory, of all people, snatching the sledgehammer from Triple H. Triple H surprised. And then Triple H turning around to look back at Orton, but Orton hits him with the RKO, planting him out here. Triple H taken out as Kevin Owens, tries to get Orton from behind. He turns around, he goes for the bloody... What he goes for? He goes for the stunner, but Randy Orton shoves him off again, and Owens goes into Theory, who hits Owens in the face with the sledgehammer, dazing Owens as he stumbles back into an RKO from Orton. Orton makes the cover as Theory quickly drops the hammer, hurries out, grabs the ref and tosses him in the ring, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. Your winner and a new WWE champion, Randy Orton. For a 99, another near perfect match. Jesus Christ, that's the third of this pay-per-view weekend. My word, 94 Owens, 79 Orton. Beautiful, 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 incredible match. As yes, in the end, the chaos of it all amongst it, Triple H laid out still. Austin Theory, Austin Theory doing a lot of work to help Orton win the title, surprisingly there. Of all people, they're out there. And then Austin Theory hurrying over to as the ring announcer is announcing your new WWE champion, hurries over to the Bellkeeper, snatches the WWE title into the ring and hands it to Orton. He puts it over Orton's shoulder. Orton's still kind of dazed. Austin Theory hugging Orton. Orton not really aware of what's going on. Austin Theory just giving him a big hug, raising his arm as well. As yes, Orton going up the ramp with Theory, Garza, Gable, MJF, Pete Dunne, the men who came out to help him here. Back towards the ring. Owens out of it. Owens up a little bit, trying to wake up Triple H, but Randy Orton's RKO took out Triple H here. Triple H is not getting up. Okay, Triple H out of it. He's unconscious. He's not going to be able to get up. He cannot overturn this result like he did at SummerSlam. He does not have the wherewithal to do it. So all Triple H's chosen can do, all Kevin Owens can do, is angrily watch as at the top of the lake, Randy Orton raises the WWE title. And then maybe you have a little moment where the camera pans out a bit and you see Gable looking up at that WWE Championship. Because amongst all of this, amongst Gable helping him because it's a mentor, Gable does have that Intercontinental title now. Gable does have the option to cash it in for a shot at the WWE title. And you have to remember when Orton and Gable fought for a high-level title, world title, whatever you want to call it, at WrestleMania for the NXT title, Gable came out on top. So maybe he'd fancy his chances even. But yeah, 100 for the post-match. As an incredible Purge pay-per-view ends with a 98. So close. I'm a bit surprised I didn't get 100. I'd blame R-Truth Danhausen, but the show wouldn't be the same without it now, would it? So who cares? Oh, what a show. What a show. I don't know who to praise. I mean, we had 299 man matches, so probably those guys. God. Seth, Randy, Kevin, maybe. Chad, Randy, Seth. Yeah, Chad, Randy, Seth. I want to praise Chad because I like Chad Gable. If you haven't noticed throughout this save, praise them all. Pleased, pleased, pleased. I'm very pleased. What a great show. What an episode 100. I'm very happy with it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode 100 premium live event special with Halloween Havoc and The Purge. If you have, leave a like and subscribe for hopefully the next 100 and beyond episodes. And next time we'll be back with the go-home shows. Let me know in the comments, like I said. Do you want it to stay as Raw, NXT, and SmackDown as single episodes? Do you want separate episodes for each? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But yeah, we'll be back with the post-show, the fallout from The Purge and Halloween Havoc. And God, there's going to be a lot of fallout as we head towards Survivor Series. Well, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, once again, leave a like and subscribe for more. And as always, I just want to say a very special thank you for watching.